he went to the sun, after he
Yes.
had died, and he woke him up. He told, "Wake up," and he got up,
Mhm.
and it was a pastime, huh? It was all a
Yes.
pastime. Mahaprabhu
Yes.
to his message, that we are not the body, are not this
Yes.
temporary body. There's something more. The soul is always there, even in beyond the dead body. There's the soul,
Yes.
that higher self. Huh? That there are two self within the body: the lower self and the higher self.
Yes.
Huh? Atma is the Paramatma, the higher self, and the lower self. What is that? Lower self identifies, I am the body, but
Yes.
how you can be the body? When you die, Mahaprabhu showed that when you die, that's your lower self. But there's another self beyond that, huh? Who is there, but he leaves the body behind.
Yes.
There we know that there's a difference between the self, the life, and the body. When you die, there's a difference. It comes
Yes.
out. So this lower self and the higher self is there. Means
Yes.
identification. The Atma identifies either with the body or the Paramatma, identifies with the higher world beyond this body. This is, and then what is today? They have everybody gives some gift on Christmas.
Mhm.
Everybody is buying gifts to give, huh? Some
Mhm.
present to others. Why is that? Why do they take this day when the birth of Lord Jesus? Why do they make this day to giving gift to others? You know that you know
No,
where that came
Uh,
from.
because of out of happiness of Jesus' appearance.
A different idea. And actually, when Jesus was born,
Yes.
there were three men who came. They were
Yes.
called magi,
Mhm.
magicians, like magical
Yes.
persons. They
Yes.
came, and they're called the wise men, huh?
Yes.
Uh, pundits. They came to that place where he was born, and uh, Dandavats, Rai Sundari, Rajasundari, Dandavats. They came to that place where he was born.
Yes.
They and they gave him three things, huh? One gave him gold, another
Yes.
one gave him frankincense, and the third one gave him myrrh.
Mhm.
This is where the gift giving comes from. Actually, from that pastime of Jesus and these three men. They were the first to give gifts on
Yes.
Christmas Day. You see? And then from there, everyone got this idea of giving gifts to others. But it
Mhm.
was Christ. That gift giving came from that pastime. That's why this day gifts have become so prominent. But
Yes.
anyhow, that so this lower self and the higher self was there in every living entity. That
Yes.
Christ came to remind us of that higher self. You see, his whole life,
Yes.
he could see the higher self in everyone, even though
Yes.
they punished him so mercilessly. Uh,
Yes.
so mercilessly, they gave so much torture to him. But he was always seeing something else. He was always forgiving them. He told at the end, Father, forgive them, for they don't know what they're doing.
Yes.
He sees something in them that they could not see in themselves.
Yeah.
That that higher self, the Paramatma,
Yeah.
the Uttama devotee, he always sees that part. Now the material, the Kanishta, and all those, they see only the lower self, that self that identifies with the body and not the self that identifies with the higher world beyond this body. So they see that higher self in us. And I think the gift that the Vaishnava gives to others is that uh, uh, by seeing, he comes and he sees our higher self. He sees Paramatma in everyone. And to see that Paramatma in us, it
Yeah.
reminds us, oh, I have this higher self as my identity, not just this lower self. And that gives us the courage and the strength to change ourselves, not to be caught, trapped in the lower self concept, and to be raised up to that higher self. That gift is given to us by Gurudev because he sees, and by that seeing the higher self within us, we can get again belief. We again establish our belief, our conviction in that higher self within us. So he restores that courage, that higher meaning, just by interacting with us and in his conception as Paramatma, as a higher being, and not just this lower self. Understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
Uh,
Mahesh.
he can see that higher self, and not doesn't see us. That lower self is there, but he also sees the higher self, and that he tries by that seeing and interacting with us in that way, in which he recognizes the higher self. We develop our own faith in the higher self within us. And it's that faith that allows us to change from the lower conception to the higher identification. So that is actually the gift that the sadhu or the Vaishnava brings to us to give us that faith, restore that faith in ourselves, to change ourselves, to show us how you can change. Anyone can change if they just identify with that higher identification, or self. Anyhow, that was what I was thinking today. This,
Vikram Maharaj has sent a very nice message about Sudarshan Prabhu after receiving this news.
okay. What did
He
he say?
says that Dandavat Pranam Maharaj. I had the fortune to meet him in Australia. I felt much inspired in my heart with his sober and divine presence. I even told some devotees that I felt in my heart that he was a real deal, a natural devotee. Even from my low position, I could feel he was higher than everyone there, including me, of course. I don't know what to say, but I wish I could leave my body in your jurisdiction and Narasimha Dev's holy dham. So he was very humble and uh, so everybody felt, he's such a sincere and wonderful soul, Sudarshan
Huh.
Prabhu, and always, wants to serve devotees, help them and encourage, in a very humble way and mild, nature actually.
Yes. Yes, that is the quality. I say that is the gift of the Vaishnavas. They can see us in the higher way. That within us there's that higher self, not just from the mundane plane, the plane of imperfection, of so many faults we have. There's another self beyond that, and they're looking at that. And that gives us encouragement to try to see our own selves like that. That we don't have to see ourselves as some miserable creatures, but we can change that situation from ourselves, within our own heart. And that's why we appreciate that gift of the Vaishnavas, to give us that chance to recognize that. Dandavat, Muni Maharaj, by Dandavat to you.
Dandavat Maharaj.
Dandavat.
I kept the video out because the bandwidth is small here.
What happened?
The bandwidth is small, so I have kept the video out.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay. Whatever happened, Maharaj, that last time, I feel unhappy about it, and I beg forgiveness from whatever, because main mistake was mine because I did not prepare well. So it is not others' fault. Whatever happened, plus or minus.
We just have to remember the higher self is there in all of us and try to connect with that. Identify with that higher self. We don't only have this lower self, but we have another existence, another identity. You see that Atma can identify. He identifies with something. He either identifies with this lower reality or the higher reality. So that identification is the essence of the Atma. He has to identify with something if he wants to have any kind of existence. So he can identify with the lower, or he can identify with the higher. And the sadhu, I was saying, they can always see that higher, the higher self in us, in everyone. And they encourage us by their faith in that higher self, our own faith and our own higher self, and that is the gift to us. They give that to us, that faith that there is that higher self within our own self, and thereby we can raise ourselves to that identity. The gift, this is their Christmas gift, and their eternal gift to us. And I wanted to say something also about this evolution, and what I saw some devotees were speaking about evolution. They interpret that Krishna is Navayovana. I always tell this. Krishna is Navayovana. How is that possible? He is Navayovana means he is ever youthful. Just like I was looking at the tree outside my house, and I noticed, I could recognize that tree is going there many, many years, but it's always producing green leaves every year. It's always producing green leaves, and the leaves are falling, but every year it comes back, giving itself a renewed existence. A renewed existence. It's like always alive. It seems to be dying, but it's always alive. Then what is that renewal? What is that renewing process in the tree? We call it growth. That's not evolution. Some people mistaken growth for evolution. They have this, what do they call, Maharaj? That Evo-Devo? What do they call?
Yes,
Evo-Devo. And that means they think that the embryological development of the living entity is the same as evolution of the. There's one man, one friend of Darwin. his name was Aldous Huxley, Huxley, and he said that, what is that word, phrase that he used? Ontogeny recapitulates phylogeny. Ontology recapitulates phylogeny.
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 What is it?
Phylogeny. Phylogeny.
Biology, yes.
No,
That,
phylogeny.
phylogeny.
Phylogeny. Yes. That is,
Do you know the meaning of ontogeny and phylogeny?
yes, yes. That is,
The,
phylogeny is the genetic part, and that other is the developmental part.
phyla is just the different species of life. And the ontogeny means the development or growth of the particular individual.
Ernest Haeckel is the man who has popularized further that idea. Ernest Haeckel.
Huxley.
Haeckel. Ernest Haeckel.
Yes.
That is, he popularized that idea later on. Very much.
So they are thinking like that growth and evolution are the same, but everybody knows that's not the case. Many scientists understand that growth does not mean the same thing as evolution. Evolution means something different than growth. Growth doesn't occur by random mutation. Growth is a very deliberate process. Now, so that means evolution and growth are not compatible with one another. They're two different processes. So to say that evolution is the process of nature misses the point that there is something going on that is not evolutionary. The non-evolutionary growth or development of things is quite different from the evolution of things. And yet, because this idea of evolution has come by Darwin and others who supported him, that people think that's the predominant mode of existence. But it's not evolution. There's something else that we have to consider. Some other process at work that is more fundamental. And that process of growth can't be explained as evolutionary. Then what is it? And I think that we have to realize that there's a difference between evolution and revelation. Krishna is Navayovana. It means not evolution, but revelation. Ever and ever newer essence of the Lord is being expressed constantly by revelation. And because that revelation is ever new, ever new qualities are coming forth, then we can understand the process of revelation, not evolution. The evolution goes in the opposite direction. Evolution goes from the potential to the actual, from the lower to the higher. But revelation comes from the higher to the lower. And that expresses the changing nature of the Absolute by revelation, and how much degree we are understanding or not understanding, we're seeing or realizing or not. Now, we can say that in certain ways, there's evolution, this rising up, uncovering or unfolding, is also a process, but a complementary, corollary to revelation. But that depends on if we know what exactly we mean by this, how they are corollary. Just as Sripad Maharaj was always talking about subjective evolution of consciousness. So how is it that there's evolution of consciousness and yet revelation of the truth? The essence reveals itself, and yet there is also this evolution of subjectivity of consciousness. And what is the goal of that evolution now? That evolution, subjective evolution, is to come to the revelation, come to the point of revelation where the truth reveals itself. So evolution is the process of uncovering what is to be revealed to us, uncovering the truth that ultimately reveals itself when we've removed all the coverings. So in this way, evolution and revelation meet at a certain point, but we cannot say it is only evolution. That misses the point. So this evolution, revelation. Now, also there's a very big chance of completely misunderstanding evolution. And we say evolution because evolution is a process. Is a process, and that process, when it's understood merely as a process, and we think that the essence of the absolute is merely this process, this changingness, changeability. That's a mistake. That's an impersonal conception. We take the process, the evolutionary or changing process, to be the absolute. No, that is not the correct idea. We say the essence of the absolute is to be the same by always changing. And when you say it's always changing, it means a process. And to say that this ever-changing process is always remaining the same, it's always changing, that will lead to an identification of the process of activity with the absolute. But that's not the point. The absolute is not, the essence of the absolute is not that it is mere change. It is Krishna. Krishna is the absolute. It is not just a process. So this evolution can lead to a misunderstanding that process is the absolute. And the other problem with evolution is that evolution doesn't have any end. They say things evolve, but what are they evolving to? What do they become if they're evolving? They must be having some goal. Otherwise, evolution just leaves it open-ended. It doesn't tell us what is the end, what is the goal. It doesn't have any goal. So that cannot be complete understanding. So revelation, however, that essence is always there, but we see it in deeper and deeper ways. Revelation means the essence is always remaining, and the vision or the understanding of it is changed. Now, does that mean Krishna is never changing? No. His revelation is not only to us, but even to himself. He understands himself in deeper and more various ways. He can also be developing in himself, like that, growing in himself. And I always tell this Brahman, the root of Brahman means to grow, to expand, or to reveal itself, manifest itself. This is the meaning of Brahman. So Vedanta teaches this Tato Brahma, this Brahman is to be inquired into. So Brahman himself, or Krishna himself, is ever revealing or reveling in his own understanding of himself. And it's this way he is always growing, ever expanding. So the process of non-fixed reality, a reality that is ever changing, that is also encompassed in the idea of revelation and not merely evolution. So I think this is important because I've heard several devotees talking about this nature of the absolute as an evolving and being properly understood as evolution of the absolute. But that is not the proper, in my opinion, will not be the proper way to understand. Because evolution means also in a literal way means unfolding, the unfolding of the absolute. Yes, unfolding and revealing, they're very similar ideas, but we can't mistake one for the other. This is the point. We have to recognize this revelation is very important, part of the absolute and part of Vedanta, part of the proper conception, revelation. I don't know. I hope, and I don't want to take too long, but I want to make sure we understand this point: evolution and revelation. All right,
Maharaj,
Maharaj.
is Krishna is not undergoing evolution?
Not evolution, revelation.
When Mahaprabhu felt about lack, when Krishna felt lack about the thing that what Radharani has, or when Narsimhadev felt about what Prahlad is having, he don't have it, means the love of parents. So is that not also a kind of means what as devotees are explained as undergoing spiritual evolution? What about the absolute? He is not undergoing that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If we see it like that, just evolution, it seems to miss the point, huh? Miss the point that revelation contains that essence, that unchanging essence is there in Revelation, and yet in Revelation things are changing. We see deeper and deeper into that essence in different ways and so forth. So it manifests itself in difference, although it is in essence the same. So this identity and difference is found in the idea of revelation, whereas in evolution, I said the emphasis seems to be more on process, change, as the essence of the absolute. And that misses the essence. To me, it's only an emphasis on change and not on what is changing, or what is the goal of that changing. It seems to miss those points. But again, if we understand evolution in a more positive way as achieving some goal, then the process of evolution ends in revelation. The process of evolution, if it leads to the truth, exposing the truth.
So when Maharaj Srila Sridhar Maharaj talks about spiritual evolution,
About what?
does it spiritual evolution? When
Spiritual evolution.
Srila Sridhar Maharaj talks about
He ever
spiritual
told that.
evolution,
I don't
spiritual
think
evolution,
I don't think he ever said that. I don't
uh,
think it's spiritual evolution. He said subjective evolution.
yes. I have seen somewhere he talks about spiritual evolution.
I don't know.
Okay.
I haven't heard that, but I heard he said subjective evolution, and that has to
Yes.
do with a subjective or conscious
Yes.
platform of development. But spiritually, I think, like I said, there's variety, there's different expressions of the absolute we find in the spiritual world, different manifestations or tastes of the Akila Rasamrita Murti, that fountainhead of all rasa is spreading out all different types of tastes, which come in the form of the Dasya Sakya Vatsaya Madhurya Leelas. Those are variations of expressions of the essence who is and his revelation, manifestation of himself in the spiritual world. But I can't see that as evolution. That one evolves from Shanta to Dasya to Sakya like that. They're not that's a different process. And that refers only to the subjective plane. Anyhow, I don't know. My humble opinion, I don't know so much.
Well,
But
one thing I would like to say here, you said that the Krishna is like Navajovan, it's always presenting himself in new ways. So
Maharaj,
don't
there is this section on spiritual evolution in this subjective evolution. The whole section it talks about, spiritual evolution. So I
Maybe.
don't know whether literally he used the term spiritual in that.
I don't.
Uh,
I don't remember that.
yes.
I don't remember he ever did said like that.
Spiritual
And
evolution is also there. And spiritual revolution, Govinda Maharaj talked in Revealed Truth.
huh?
Spiritual revolution. Srila Govinda Maharaj talked in Revealed Truth book. And spiritual evolution, I see in subject evolution, a section is there. So this section is given the name, but I'm not sure literally he has used that word. But Govinda Maharaj many times used that term spiritual evolution.
Well, like again, I say that evolution, when it's understood properly as a reaching to the truth, evolution meets with revelation. When the evolution comes to the point where the truth is reached, where the uncovering of the truth comes, then revelation, the truth reveals itself. So this way the two can work together, but it has to be understood properly, in the proper context. This is what we want to remember, the context. I told text without context is pretext. So we have to be careful. That's what I'm saying. Evolution has to be carefully used if we want to understand the absolute through that idea. And that is the evolution that we're talking that refers to is something that has a goal, has an end. Whereas evolution, the way it's talked to today in the modern world, has no end, no purpose. It keeps
That is
going.
that is completely different idea, Maharaj. How
Yeah,
modern science is thinking that is all
right.
perverted
Yeah,
version.
because
But
So that's what I'm saying. We have to
but
be.
I'm asking the evolution concept what Srila Sridhar Maharaj is talking about when he talks
Uh,
about subjective evolution.
yes,
So it is about the subject's affinity towards some consciousness which is not at present facilitated by the present kind of development or the what you can say the facility what is being provided, the facility what is being provided.
yeah,
So like for example, Krishna cannot experience in his that form what he experiencing at Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he has to assume completely different atmosphere and different kind of what you can say mood and form, everything. Krishna means opposite to Krishna. So what we can call that?
well, again, I think the most important point is to understand how revelation comes into play. Where does revelation fit when you say evolution? And revelation has to come at some point. So if evolution ends in revelation, then that is right, proper conception. If it's only evolution that doesn't have any end, then what is the meaning of that? So the evolution that tends toward, or you might say, is teleological, and that it is approaching an end. It has some end in mind. End is its final goal. Then that is a kind of different evolution than what the modern idea is. That evolution has some purpose. They
When
don't know.
Mahaprabhu says that
Hmm,
there is a eternal competition between absolute and the devotees. So that idea, can we call it evolution or revolution? Because Krishna is always aspiring for higher and higher dedication. I mean,
uh,
whatever he has received from devotees, he is thinking if I can get still something more. And
uh,
devotee also thinking, what I have given, I'm not satisfied with that. If I can give something more.
yes,
So in that way, it is ever fresh, the relationship. So we
yes,
call
yes,
it a revelation or it's evolution.
yes, yes. From the lower to the higher, we can call evolution. But the point must remain clear in our head, in our mind,
Yes.
that the evolution that we're talking about there has an end, has a purpose. If
Yes.
the evolution is involving becoming more Krishna conscious or serving Krishna, pleasing Krishna more and more. Then that kind of evolution is a complement to
Yes,
revelation. Because what's
yes,
happening by evolving that way, Krishna is revealing himself more and more to the devotee. Yeah? Both
yes,
sides are there, not just one side. Huh?
yes, yes.
That's all. So I
Maharaj,
think
when we call about revelation, is it not something is revealed from above? But
eh,
when we are talking that Krishna is also undergoing revelation, means from where he is getting that?
both, well, he's revealing, you see, that's what I was saying before. Revelation is both to the finite, huh? He reveals
Yes,
to the finite, but he also reveals to himself. Sometimes
yes,
there's the word in English they call revel. You know, revel? He
yes.
revels in his pastimes. This is a revel, means there's a revelation for Krishna also of his own self to himself. Huh? So
Like you
he's
have described, there is a no limit to Krishna. That is also a limit. So Krishna creates his own limit and then he changed that.
that's called self-determination. That's called self-determination. That is what's. You make your own limit, and then you can overcome it because you made it. Anyhow, that's, I don't want to take your time, Maharaj. I know you're
No,
very busy today, and
no,
all
Maharaj.
very nice to gather with everyone, always having sangha.
I was
And
always thinking, Sudarshan Prabhu always, thinking of service. So, he will not be any obstacle to the celebration of Vaishnava's festival. So, yeah, and of course, in that way, it worked out also today. Many devotees came and, we had nice feasting also and program also. And his, ceremony also was nice. And with Kirtan, we went, to the cremation place and his I was not having any contact of his family members, and when we are in the cremation ground, all of a sudden many of his family members called, and we
oh,
had video call, and so on, and they were so happy to talk with all devotees, and they
they,
also wants to come to Navadip.
that sounds very beautiful, Maharaj.
Mm.
It's so fortunate, huh, to have the devotees also associating with them at his departure time. It's very auspicious. So we pray for his blessings. That's all that we may all be able to focus and become devotees like that, where we can remember our higher identity.
Maharaj, I wanted to say one thing. Actually,
Yes,
Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur wrote this thing in Chaitanya Charitamrita, that when Mahaprabhu appeared, at that time he mentioned his astrological, position, and specifically he mentioned that Mercury was placed in the eighth house. Mercury in his chart, in Mahaprabhu's chart, is in eighth house. The meaning of this is a person who is always searching for himself, self-inquiry. That means who am I and other this kind of things. And even in one place in Chaitanya Bhagavat, it is mentioned Mahaprabhu said like this: I searched the whole world, but I found no one who is searching for me. So I give this benediction that in this age I will give this most munificent gift, benediction to even the lowest class of people, uh, which is aspired for even by great rishis and munis, but they don't get it. But in this age, I will distribute this. So it seemed to me that this point of self-inquiry, who am I, is concerned with Mahaprabhu also, and it is also concerned with us also. And in our relative and absolute considerations, a lot of new discoveries, because he was also trying to discover that. That's why he became Mahaprabhu. That is the whole purpose of that incarnate, that appearance. Krishna, Mahaprabhu felt Krishna is seeing himself everywhere. But when he saw himself in the heart of Srimati Radharani, then he felt some wonder that I did not find this kind of beauty of myself anywhere else. Then he developed the greed to taste that. And with that, he came as Mahaprabhu. So that in Mahaprabhu, that thing is very strong, that relationship with himself. Who am I? The search. He's obsessed with that, actually. Mahaprabhu is obsessed with that. That's what I wanted to say when you were telling all those things.
Yes, Maharaj, very, very poignant, very good point. Because Mahaprabhu did not know, even in his own self, that there was a higher self. He was deeper, there was a deeper part of himself. But he did not know himself. Only he realized that when Radharani was there. Radharani gave him that insight into his own self, made it possible for his own insight to himself, to recognize there were deeper and deeper levels of his own self. That was the Radharani's gift to Krishna. That's why we consider Radharani the highest, because she is giving even Krishna that gift of deeper insight. All of our spiritual development and life is based upon this faith that Gurudev gives to us, that we have a deeper sense of a deeper identity than this mere superficial mundane platform provides. So very good, Maharaj. Very nice realization. Very nice point.
Thank
Okay.
You,
Am I done?
No.
You want to?
It's up to you.
Huh? Anything else? Maharaj, I don't want to keep you. What time is it? Yes. I don't want to keep you from your duties. So we can, whenever you like.
Maharaj, we are very happy, fortunate to, what you can say, have your association, and even though we are full of all faults and, defects, you are kind on us. That is your causeless mercy. So we pray on this auspicious day. May you forgive us our all, offenses and shortcomings, and always keep us at your lotus feet.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj. And likewise, I'm also very fallen. But if you can always see my higher self, then I'll be happy to always remember that also. It helps me to remember that higher identity. Hare Krishna. My love to you all.
जय विष्णुपाद श्रीला भक्ति माधव पुरी महाराज की जय।
Jai.
तो दिया सुबह व्यास पूजा महामहोत्सव की जय।
Jai.
Anybody wants to say anything?
Yes, Maharaj, I can little word for dedicated to Madhava, Srila Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj. I sent
Okay.
to Chat Prabhu.
Okay.
This morning, right for you, Maharaj.
Hari Ananda, would you like me to read your message?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Dandavat pranams to all. Today is an auspicious day and a pleasant reason to celebrate a day to honor His Holiness Srila Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj, an acharya very dear and respected by all. However, although we have no qualification to express the glories of such a high personality of the Vaishnava world, we will make an attempt due to the special nature of this beautiful day, and forgive any offenses in this attempt. Srila Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj has had a wonderful life and great fortune since he has been able to share and receive teachings from three great spiritual giants, as Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, and Srila Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj. Having been able to drink the water of wisdom directly from these three sources is a unique and rare privilege. His Holiness Srila Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj has also been very successful in his academic life, leading his professional life at the university level in the field of science, and where he has strived to bring scientific preaching to prominent people in the scientific world, since that was the desire of his spiritual masters, preaching to people who were involved in the field of science. Additionally, his preaching is accompanied by many scriptural and philosophical references, including aspects of the philosophy of Hegel and other excellent thinkers, many of whom are mentioned in the great work The Subjective Evolution of Consciousness by His Holiness Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, where he gave high value to certain Western philosophers. And this is very good because it teaches us that we are not isolated in a region or doctrine, but on the contrary, there are common aspects to the truth in different regions, cultures, and diverse languages. In this sense, His Holiness Srila Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj is the fruit of the union of the best of Eastern thought and the best of Western thought. That is where his magnanimity and transcendence lies. That is why we always pray to be under his guidance and happily provide him with all the service that is necessary. Srila Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj is an extremely humble person with everyone. His sweet voice captivates every listener and immediately immerses them in the conversation that he is developing. He is a very attractive speaker due to his explanations of complex topics, but that anyone can understand due to his great pedagogical capacity. In the years that we have known the Maharaj, we perceive that he is a very prudent teacher, very careful with each word he expresses, always from the platform of conciliation. We have never perceived in him heated or bellicose speeches. Quite the contrary, he is always sparing when speaking and with great respect for the audience and even for opposing ideas. It is noted that he always uses reason, never gives emotional or impulsive answers. He is always self-controlled. For us, from Spain, we consider him a gentleman among gentlemen, the best of gentlemen, the Vaishnava gentleman. We wish him a long life and health in this manifestation of time, place, and circumstances, and that he always remains attached to the teachings of his teachers and receives all auspicious things in his life. We always hope that Saturday will come to hear your sermon, and beyond that, to see your beautiful face framed in your sweet smile, which brings joy and life to the heart of the most fallen. You are an oasis in this desert of the material world. Grateful for your mercy, you will always be in our hearts. Your well-wishers from Spain, Priyatama Didi, Ananditi Didi, Bhagavati Didi, Priyadarshini Didi, Lakshmi, birds of the house, Haryananda Das, from heart to heart.
Very beautiful.
Joy, Haryananda Prabhu ki joy.
Srila Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaja ki jai. Srila Bhakti Shanta Maharaj ki Srila Bhakti Muni Maharaj ki all devotees ki
I think, do we have time? Krishna Kesava wanted to say something.
Okay, Maharaj.
Can I share the screen?
I think you can share. Anybody can share now.
Jaya Shri Madhava Puri Krishna Prema Pura Bhakti Kalpa Tarura Tenho Pratama Ankura Siksha Charya Madhva Puri Shri Vidya Vilase Koti Mahagyani Jana Jine Parihase Adhyapaka Gana Ara Paduyara Gana Parajita Haye Sabe Kare Hari Bola. Glory to Madhava Puri, the abode of love of Krishna, from whom the divine tree of devotion initially sprouts. During his pastimes of scholarship, the teacher of instruction, Madhava Puri, cordially defeats many great scholars. Defeated, all the teachers and students chant Lord Hari's names. Hare Krishna.
Like George Wald.
Jai Krishna Kesava Prabhu Ki Jai.
Yeah. Anybody else wants to say anything?
Kalpana,
No.
who is Kalpana?
I think she is from Odisha. Is it Dr. Kalpana from Odisha? Hare Krishna. I think from Odisha or maybe from Andhra Pradesh. Tapaswini, I don't know who are they. Kalpana, are you Tapaswini? No.
Ananda Krishna, di unas palabras de tu corazón al Maharaj, es importante, de tu corazón al Maharaj, que hoy es un día especial, es
Oh,
importante.
Prabhu, very special day. This is a Guru Pranam of Srila Madhava Puri Maharaj. Very emotional. No words, no qualification. No qualification. No qualification. Guru Madhava Puri Maharaj is sincerity devotee. Very sincerity.
Pranam Maharaj. I'm really very happy to see Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj and Srila Bhakti Vijnan Muni Maharaj and Srila Bhakti Niskama Shanta Maharaj and all the devotees, Srila Harinanda Prabhu, Kalpana Didi and Ananda Krishna Prabhu. My Dandavad Pranam to all. Jai Sudai Didi. Really, I feel that I'm very much fortunate to get the association of these really highly realized souls. And I just actually have not, I was traveling today, but I want to share my realization towards the great saints. Actually, in my life, what I realize, I just want to share a very few slides, a number, just want to share and want to say something based on those slides. I wish to just offer my humble realizations for Srila Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj. And Om Agyanti Mirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakya Chakshumritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Just want to offer the Mangalacharan. I offer Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padam Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sankrajatam. I just want to translate it. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of my spiritual master and of all the other preceptors on the path of devotional service. I offer my respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnavas and unto the 6 Goswamis, including Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Sanatan Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Srila Jeev Goswami, and their associates. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Advaita Acharya Prabhu, Sri Nityananda Prabhu, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and all his devotees, headed by Vyasa Thakur. I then offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, Srimati Radharani, and all the gopis, headed by Lalita Vishakha. And this is my humble realizations for Srila Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj. I feel in my life he is my Prayojana Acharya, and he gave me a mantra, and I'm trying to focus on it, Vasudevam Sarvamiti. And my Avidheya Acharya, Srila Bhakti Rishkam Shanta Maharaj, I'm trying to improve myself in devotional service under his guidance, and trying to do more. And this is for, okay. Srila Bhakti Nirmala Acharya Maharaj, I feel that he is my Sambandha Acharya. He gave me the relation, he actually gave me the Diksha mantra, or we can say that he's my Sambandha Acharya. That's it. Hare Krishna. Dhanavad Pranam Maharaj. I cannot express in few words I'm very much obliged to have you all in my life.
Samangala Devi. She can always see my higher self. Very nice. Devo.
Maharaj,
Yes, bro.
this is the sloka in Bhagavad Gita. It's very, very beautiful. Karmani badikarishte ma paleshu kadachana ma karma pala heturbhavate sangostva karmani. Dhanavad.
Love sees only the good, huh? It preserves what is good in us. Love. It sees only the good in who is the beloved. And whatever defect is there, it overlooks. Somehow it doesn't see that. Huh? So it preserves what is good, and it overcomes any defect also. That is the nature of the divine love, huh? The absolute love. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhus.
Thank you, Maharaj, for your association and guidance, love, everything, Maharaj. Whatever we are, that is by your grace.
And I was thinking of this. We were speaking of evolution and revelation. I was thinking Maharaj, Srila Maharaj has written. There were 2 books that Goswami Maharaj produced. One was called The Search for Sri Krishna, and the other one was called The Loving Search for the Lost Servant.
Lost servant.
Huh? So this is the process. Evolution and revelation. Coming down and going up. Huh?
Yes.
Right? Evo. Okay. My humble Dandavat, Vanchakal, Rubi Shaki, Evacha, Patitanam Pavane, Vaishnavi Namo Namaha.
Joy. Srila Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj ki joy. So dear Holy Appearance Vyas Puja Maha Mahotsav ki joy. Mahotsav Kalankari Bhakta Brinda ki joy. Dandavat.
Srila Bhakti Niskama Shanta Maharaj ki jai, Srila Bhakti Vijnan Muni Maharaja ki jai.
All devotees ki joy.
Forever, ki jai. I love
Hare
you.
Krishna. Dandavat. Dandavat.
Hare Krishna.